Today, I thought it would be interesting if we go over some of the rumors for iPhone 15 Pro. We are here on Mac Rumors website and going over some of the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max rumors, which are to be expected to be announced at the September 2023 Apple keynote, which is not too far from now, the Apple event rather. Okay, so rumored at a glance is the A17 chip, the 6.1 and 6.7 inch sizes, 6.1 presumably for the Pro, and 6.7 presumably for the Pro Max or Pro Ultra. We don't know which one. They're going to call it USB Type-C port for both and Qualcomm modern chip. Now, this video is also low-key because right now I have the iPhone 14 Pro. So this video is also low-key going to help me decide if I want to upgrade right away or not, because contrary to popular belief, I don't always upgrade to the latest and greatest. If you ask my family and friends, they will all swear up and down that I always have to have the newest thing, but that's not always true. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, so let's start with this roundup highlights. Let's see, 4 flagship devices, iPhone 15, iPhone 15 Plus, iPhone 15 Pro, and iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'm not sure if the Plus is going to be there again because I don't know. I don't know if the 14 Plus did real well or not. I don't have the numbers on that. Now, I do know with the 12, there was a 12 mini that did so bad that they don't even include the mini anymore. But I know some people that liked the mini quite a bit. So who knows? And then here, while the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be 6.7 inches, I know I'm jumping a bit, but yeah, the iPhone 15 Pro is expected to measure in at 6.1 inches, which honestly is a big enough phone for me. I like the Pro because it's all the Pro features of an iPhone Pro, but without the super big Max. But Max will probably have better battery, so I'm a little torn between that if I am being honest. Let's see, upgraded A17 chip will be exclusive to the Pro and the Pro Max, with the iPhone 15 models using the same A16 chip that the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max use. So that makes sense. That's usually Apple's MO when it comes to that, so it's usually a pretty safe bet. So that means so far, from what we're reading, an iPhone upgrading to the iPhone 15 would be exactly the same as my 14 Pro. So 14 Pro, since I have right now, I would not upgrade to the normal 15. What I'm hearing is if I wanted a true upgrade, I'd have to upgrade to either the iPhone 15 Pro or the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But let's continue with that, okay? So all iPhone 15 models will feature the dynamic island this year, which is interesting because, as you know, at this current time, the iPhone 14 series does not all have dynamic island. The 14 and the 14 Plus do not have dynamic island, but the 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max do. Actually, believe it or not, it's one of the features that weighed into me getting a 14 Pro over a 14. I know it seems odd, but it was. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Okay, let's see. 14, let's see. iPhone 15 Pro lineup will include an upgraded USB-C port that featured a faster USB 3.2 or Thunderbolt 3 transfer speed, whereas it also said that all iPhone 15 models will feature USB Type-C port. I'm assuming it's going to be one of the standard. Honestly, I wasn't sure what I thought about this at first, but now that I think about it, it would be convenient to be able to charge my iPad Pro and my iPhone with the same charging port. But then again, if I'm being honest, most of the time I put my iPhone on the MagSafe charger anyway, so I don't know if I really have a lot to weigh in. I guess other people, I always try to explain to, like my family and stuff, and friends, what a MagSafe charger is, because they like charging the traditional way. But yeah, I digress. More RAM is expected alongside the A17 chip, but all iPhone models will use the same 5G Qualcomm modern chip technology for connectivity. Okay, that is not bad at all. Oh, it also said Apple is also expected to introduce a new ultra wide band chip for nearby in the interactions with the UWB chip integrating with the Vision Pro headset that Apple will introduce early 2024. Okay, this makes sense because they are introducing a new headset, so you definitely think that they'd want to actually get things going with the whole making it so the phone will detect it. But as far as I know, I don't know how many early units they're going to sell, but I mean, I guess if they can integrate their technology sooner than later, that will be good. It looks like there's going to be a better camera lens in the Pro Max, allegedly. And then these are some leaks. Let's see. So this is a leaked first look at the USB Type-C port, which, as you can see, is a bit different than the what we have right now. I don't know if you can see it right now because we have Lightning port right now on the 14 Pro. And yeah, so far looks pretty good. The volume up, volume down looks about the same. Now I'm interested to see if this is going to be like an action button because there was some rumor that it's going to have an action button instead of, a not action button. So, opposed to this over here where you can put on silent mode and whatnot. I don't know how I feel about the action button. I feel like I might press it by mistake, so I don't know about that. No, that seems very interesting. The volume button won't have a noticeable change. Apple is expected to swap the mute button for a mute button, which is which is accurate in renders as we've seen. Okay, see, that's why we're talking about an action button thing. Design details. The iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max are expected to look similar to the iPhone 14 and 14 Pro Max, with a 16.1 and 16.7-inch OLED displays and a dynamic island cut out for the camera and Face ID hardware. There have been rumors of some tweaks to the chassis of the two Pro models. Let's see. Okay, so that would be interesting. That would be pretty interesting. Titanium chassis, like you can find in the Apple Watch Ultra, I believe that is. Let's see the colors. These are the rumored colors, okay? So we have black, we have, actually, is that black or is that space gray? Okay, here we go. Which include lighter silver, gray shade, a space black color, and a natural titanium color with no gold option this year. So I wonder if we will get a gold option. How many of you guys like the gold option? Let me know. Comment section below. Volume buttons are going to, I guess, look the same. I don't really know. It seems like they are the same. I could be entirely wrong here. Action button, we went over that. Don't know what I think about that. Display. All iPhone 15 models could be equipped with a more powerful, power efficient OLED display driver chip that's manufactured on a 28-nanometer process, allowing for reduced power consumption that could ultimately lead to improved battery life. Okay, that's nice. The case option seems similar to how they were before. Dynamic island updates more under the hood, if anything. Fast USB charging. We went over USB-C limitations. One of the rumors from Chinese social networking sites suggests that Apple could place some limitations on iPhone's USB-C port, preventing them from working with Apple's unapproved accessory. That seems interesting because Apple had done this in the past with some items and stuff in the past for safety reasons, I believe is what they said. So that could be an interesting thing because technically the regulation makes it so they have to do USB Type-C by 2024, I believe it was, but the regulation doesn't say it has to be the same exact speed. I guess it can be modified USB Type-C as long as it works with USB Type-C, but I digress. Let's see. iPhone 15 models would support both MagSafe and the new QI2 standard, allowing for 15-watt charging from non-MagSafe third-party accessories. That will allow for faster wireless charging even from accessories that do not officially support MagSafe, as long as those accessories use QI2. This is interesting. It's not really, it doesn't really affect me per se because I'm more of using the MagSafe puck. But yeah, Thunderbolt 4 cables. Okay, the periscope lens. So the camera getting a camera bump. The periscope lens system will be used for the telephoto camera on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, allowing for 5 times or 6 times optical zoom. Comparatively, the iPhone 14 Pro Max offered 3 times optical zoom, which we're also expecting for the iPhone 15 Pro. Okay, so basically what they're saying is, as far as the optical zooms, they believe that the 15 Pro is going to be upgraded to 3 times optical zoom like the 14 Pro Max, because the iPhone 15 Pro Max is getting a 5 times or 6 times optical zoom. Now, I'm not a big camera person. I take pictures every now and then, and the optical zoom is nice, don't get me wrong. But for those of you guys who use it like on the regular, definitely let me know. Do you guys think the 5 times or 6 times optical zoom is going to be a feature you use a lot? Are you excited for it, or are you like, at that point? Let me know, comment section below. And then other camera improvements. The iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max will use the same 48 megapixel main camera that was in the iPhone 14 Pro models. It is equipped with the Sony IMX 803 image sensor with a 1.78 aperture. The ultra-wide camera will see an upgrade to a 13.4 megapixel lens with a f2.2 aperture, while the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be getting the periscope telephoto lens. The iPhone 15 Pro will get a smaller upgrade for its telephoto lens. It is expected to have a 12.7 megapixels and an f2.8 aperture with the periscope technology limited to the larger phone. Okay, if it sounds like I just said a bunch of stuff, I just said a bunch of stuff. I told you guys I don't know too much about like cameras and stuff. All that fancy lingo right there has convinced me. Very fancy camera upgrade. So that's good actually. Camera upgrade. The A17 chip. Okay, A17 chip. Basically, I could go over everything here. I will go over some stuff, but it seems like the A17 chip is just an upgrade from the A15 and A16 chip. We usually get a bump up in chip spec every single year, so that's pretty cool that the phones become more and more powerful. As far as RAM, the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max could feature 8 gigabytes RAM, up from 6 gigabytes on the current iPhone 14 Pro model, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure I don't even use all 6 gigabytes of my RAM, but it's nice to have, and I'll believe. I really do like it. The iPhone 15 Pro model could support up to 2 terabytes of storage. Now, see, this would be good for people who actually use their phone as their main video editing devices, or take like an insane amount of high-res photos and whatnot, shooting 4K video, all that jazz. So this could be nice for people. And it's also rumored that it would start at 256 gigabyte of storage rather than 128, which is interesting. Let's see, we're talking Wi-Fi 6E, 5G, and UWB. Okay, SIM card tray. Apple will, let's see, Apple with the launch of the 14 models removed the SIM tray in devices sold in the US. With the launch of the 15 and 15 Pro models, the SIM tray could be removed in additional countries. Okay, so right now, it's a US thing that iPhones, the newer iPhones, don't actually have SIM card. They use eSIM. So it looks like that's going to be expanding to more countries, which is interesting. I'll be honest, I wasn't a super big fan of eSIM day one, but that's only because I hadn't even got the phone yet. I was just one of those, it's a new thing, I don't know how I feel type people. But I got used to it. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all, for me anyway. For other people, it might, but for me, it doesn't really matter all that much. The only thing I can't do now is I can't just, go, like, take out my SIM and what. No. Oh, well, doesn't really matter. Anyway, pricing. Let's see. This could be, let's see, the iPhone 15 Pro models could be more expensive than the iPhone 14 Pro models. The iPhone 15 Pro models could start at $1,099, up from the $999 starting price of the iPhone 14 Pro, which is, I believe, $100 more exactly. So, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max could start at $1,199. So that is going, $100 more expensive. So that is going to be interesting. I expect there will be a price jump. There usually is. Actually, guys, let me know comment section below. Do you guys think the features are worth the new price jump? Are we paying an extra $100? Are we getting $100 worth of new features? Is basically what I am asking. Repairability and release date. Apparently, they're going to make it easier to repair, which I always am a big fan of that. And then the release date is what the last thing we're going to look at. The release date is expected to, well, the pre-orders are expected to be available on September 15th, with a launch on September 22nd. The event that this is supposed to be unveiled at is most likely to be Apple's September 12th event. So yeah, that is everything rumored about that. That's my opinions on the rumored stuff. Let me know your thoughts, comment section below. Are you going to pick up one? Are you just going to hang back for a while? I might hang back and just see how it is first, because I did wait to get the 14 Pro till they got a little bit of the bugs ironed out and stuff. So yeah, let me know, comment section below. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.